guys, I wanted to tell you a little bit about something really easy that you could put into your routine. It's called contour powder. It's different than bronzer in the sense that it's not orange based or really yellow based even, and you don't use it to give yourself a tan. You use it specifically to contour and create shadows and shapes that are not there. There's a couple different contour powders out there. One thing that's really easy to use and to incorporate is to start looking at your eyeshadow collection, and the eyeshadows that you could use for this are going to be like your kind of really boring beigey brown tones that almost look a little bit gray. Absolutely no shine at all. They have to be 100% matte. That's what I've been using for several years until I discovered a really great product. It's called the Sculpting powder by Kevyn. The package looks like this. It comes with a little brush inside, but I throw those away mostly. But you can see that it's just this really beigey gray. And it's fantastic because it's just that perfect tone for most skin tones to create that shadow. So you could be the most alabaster person, you're just going to be a little bit more light-handed when applying it. Getting into, like, if you're really light-skinned African American, you can still use this, but actually African American can't use this product, but it's way easier for African Americans to contour using eyeshadows because you can get into those deeper gray-based brown tones and contour yourself just fine, or darker concealers can do that. But this suits most skin tones. So I already prepped myself. I have my skincare on. I have my Mercier Radiant Primer on. I have Trish McEvoy's Instant Eye Lift, which is what's making me bright through here. It's this it's called the Triangle of Light. I have a little bit of eye base and just a little bit of brow that I'm going to tweak later on. So I didn't want to look scary for you guys this morning. So I thought it was important though to not have my foundation on because I want to talk about just different types of foundation, how you should apply the contour powder over it. I'm a liquid foundation person. I prefer most of my clients to be liquid foundation people. If you've tried it and you just don't like it, guess what? That's like one foundation out of a million that you could try. Like, there is a liquid foundation for you, no matter how oily you are. If you insist on powder, that's fine, but you should definitely give liquid a shot though. It just ends up looking much more natural and much more like the texture of your own skin. What I just did is the new Dior Airflash CC primer. It looks like this. I just sprayed it right on my brush. And I'm using Dior Airflash, my color's 301. Can't lie, everybody that knows me knows that this is my favorite foundation of all time. So, people that have told me that they just don't like it, I ask them how they've used it. Some people say they spray it on their own face. For some reason, Dior has in the instructions, spray on your face. Don't ever spray this on your face. God. Just spray it right on the brush, buff it right in. It's just the texture of this foundation is incredible. But it does, as you can see, leave a glow. Now, if I were to put contour powder straight on my face on this, it would definitely like grab a hold of it, just like as if I did a regular bronzer. It would grab a hold of it, spend 10 minutes trying to buff it out. So, something really important to do is to get your loose powder out. Now, you could do a translucent powder by Mercier. I have NARS, the HD loose powder. I broke out my NARS regular loose powder the other day and like totally fell in love with it again. So that's what I'm going to be using. And this is such a great little concealer brush. It's like a fluffy concealer brush from Sephora. It's called the Airbrush Concealer. Perfect. So I make my skin tight so that I don't have any like little lines under my eyes. And I just start buffing this powder in. For the rest of it, I'm actually just going to go right back on my brush that I just used. Lightly, I'm just going to do the NARS for the rest of my face because I don't want that much coverage. I just don't want that sticky, like tacky texture to be left. Okay, so basically that's it. That gives us a starting point. I love this brush so much for contouring. It's one of the Kabuki brushes from NARS. And I believe this one is just called the Ida. So I'm going to take this directly into my contour powder. You want to make a fishy face. Right in this part right here. It's almost like a cheat sheet. But the mistake that a lot of people make is they go down way too far with it. And so it's like, people don't walk around actually looking like this. So when I stop, you can see that my definition actually does stop around here. So that's where you want to stop with the contour powder as well. You would imagine like a little line right at the edge of your eye and have that be your cheat sheet guide. So, fish face. I created my line with the brush this way. Now what I do is I don't re-dip. Most of it's off the brush now because I didn't put very much on in the first place. I'm going to turn it long ways and buff it out. So I'm going to create that really nice gradient. I just put a little bit of depth and dimension. Right up at my hairline. I lean my head back to find my crease. Pop a little bit in the crease. For some of you, that's going to be enough eye makeup for the day. So notice I'm not getting any darker, I'm just getting more defined. That's the difference between your contour powder and your bronzer. So if you're very fair, you've probably noticed that bronzer looks really silly on you. I feel like I have a hair on my face somewhere. It's entirely possible. Okay, so around the nose, don't want to use that brush, it's too big. I'm going to go back with my little Airbrush Concealer brush. And one thing I do is I make my little face, because it makes my nose smaller and I can see like the dimension of like the edges of my nose better. So, do face. Make sure not to neglect the area between your brow and your nose. In fact, if you wanted just a little bit of a contour, that's the place to put it, rather than all the way down the bridge of your nose. To blend out, I go back in my loose powder. So you have a much more defined face. Now you can do whatever you want, bronzer, blush, whatever. I'm just, I don't want to wear too much on the face today, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of this Trish liquid face color. I always have this in the in my purse ready to go. So I'm just going to smile. Beauty blender. Do a little bit of MAC loose bronzer. And there you have it. So I'm gonna stop and just do some eyes on myself, but generally that's how you contour with a contour powder. So you notice the difference between bronzer and contour. I just have more shape, not that much more color, and then my nose is much more defined, my eyes are much more defined, jawline is thinner, cheekbones pop. So that's about it. If you have any questions, shoot them in the comments. I'm going to post what I used in the info box, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much.